Oh my God. Here we go. Y'all ready?
Greetings.
Greetings, DJ Head.
Greetings and salutations, sir.
My guy, first and foremost, I think this is our very first conversation. I'm very happy to have this conversation with you. I've seen like things sparingly that you were involved in. But one thing I definitely know we probably share in common is that there's a passion about music, and especially this time where music is being traded, and this is an epic battle of proportions. I like what you're doing is you're actually giving a voice and an opinion that seemingly is, people already say I'm like, yo, you're on Drake's side. You seemingly is coming from the other side, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matching of energies, but it's not our first conversation. I was on TMZ Hip Hop, and we had you on, and we
Yes.
had a conversation.
Oh, yes, sir. Yup. You're
So
right.
when I was hosting that show, we had you on. We had a similar conversation. It wasn't about these
Mm-hmm.
specific people, but it was a similar conversation. But um, two things. It's full transparency. I have said disparaging things about you, and not necessarily in public, but just behind closed doors. But not because I don't know you and I don't dislike you. It was just certain things that would go on, and I was like, being somebody that I can't operate in the space that you operate in because I'm like outside and I'm around and the lineage that I come from, I can't necessarily do and move how you move, and so. I was judgmental in that way. So I just want to tell you personally that I have said those things. I meant those things, but that's kind of it. The second thing is when it comes to this, we're fans, bro, and you a fan of your guy. I mean, aren't you a Kendrick fan, right? That's fair to say.
No, I'm of course a Kendrick fan. I'm of course a
Okay,
Kendrick fan. Like, yeah, like it would be blasphemous if I was like, yo, I just hate this guy who's also on the short list of best rappers ever, right?
no, for sure. Okay, so we're fans of the culture, but one thing that people have overlooked in this whole situation is like these are my actual homies. Like we all started together. You know what I'm saying? Like TDE started in 2004. I was around since 2006. Like I'm on the Ab Soul album that we recorded in the back house. I did the interview that Dot did to change his name to Kendrick Lamar. We did on our show. It was before they were called podcasts. It's called Homegrown Radio. It's on YouTube. So like these are my homies for real. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it was personal. It's a personal thing, even though I'm able to be objective when it comes to the sport or the battle and the rap stuff like that. But when it comes to like us choosing sides and stuff like that, I'm the most biased nigga in the industry, bro. I've been biased. like like I've had full crash out sessions with record labels arguing about our music and stuff like that because I was on iHeart. I was on the radio for 7 years
Mm-hmm.
here in LA. I just left last year or 2 years ago, whatever the case may be. But I'm completely 100% biased to everything West Coast, and that's just my brand. And also for all the people that knows you, when I say West Coast, it's not me uniting the coast against fucking New York, and it's not me uniting. It's not Voltron. We're not the fucking Avengers. It's just literally, and I explained this to Elliot earlier today. When I say West Coast, it literally just means amen. It means for sure. It means bet that. You know what I mean? Word, or however y'all would say it on that side. So whenever I end shit with West Coast, it's not like, yeah, everybody fuck them niggas. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
Mm.
So when it comes to this specific thing, though, I have been completely biased because you've been biased. And not necessarily in to counter what your biases, but these are my homies, and I didn't see anybody else standing up for us from a media standpoint.
Do you
We
think
all
so?
know, like, I mean, from a media standpoint, who else has really got in the street?
Well, maybe not on a bias level, but I feel like the majority of like all journalists that covers hip hop, especially the ones who've been around for a while, it always, and this is how I viewed it. It always felt like they preferred a artist that was more to that quintessential traditional concept of an MC like a Kendrick Lamar, as opposed to Drake, the guy from Canada who has had this like non-traditional run that's also a half a pop star. Like I feel like people have always respected the traditional MC over this new guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so again, I remember there was a time that it was almost blasphemous to say that Drake was one of the best rappers ever, like, or to even compare him to even a Jay. And I remember, like, I used to start throwing him in my top, like, my all-time top, like, top 5 list or whatever. And I remember a lot of journalists, shit, even on Everyday Struggle, people were like, yo, your list is kind of like whack for even having somebody like that in it. But I think over time, with his consistency and with his dominance, people accepted it. So I've never thought that he was the favorite by even journalists or like our most media personality perspective. So yeah, of course, sometimes I'm loud and vocal, not only because he's my favorite, because I'm like, hey, in this battle, right? I said this to Carl Cherry today. I said, Carl, even though he's been more popular don't mean you're the favorite. He was the underdog going into the Meek battle because everyone kept saying Meek was the guy with nappy braids who used to rap on the corner. This other guy was the guy from Degrassi who, yeah, he does some great songs, but battling is like, it's almost like it's in the DNA of an MC, right? It's in the DNA of the culture. And I do think that people always thought that Drake was just too much of a pop guy to really get the battle scars or even the battle rep for doing all that. Of course, he proved himself, but going against Kendrick, I thought a lot of people said, yo, Kendrick's going to take this guy's head off. Kendrick is a quintessential traditional MC.
Correct. And but you know why you feel that way though, right?
Tell me.
You feel that way because you respect Kendrick's hip hop more than you respect Drake's hip hop. So you automatically come in with that perspective. Is that fair to say?
Okay. That's a really interesting point, and it's not necessarily that I respect it. I feel that, again, it's like me in media, right? My path to where I've gotten isn't traditional, right? Like, if my story of getting to where I got to in media was, yo, I used to carry crates for Sway, and then he, you know what I mean, I used to like be interning for him and like be his assistant, and then he gave me a chance on the radio, and I kind of proved myself, and I grinded up, and I did like 15 different cities bouncing around before I got a major chance. I think a lot of people would be like, yo, you've kind of earned your keep, right? When I look at Drake, I think people look at his non-traditional route, and it's not like, for me, I can't say I respect it less than Kendrick. I'm probably more identified with it than Kendrick because it's the non-traditional newer route that, people might be a little bit uncomfortable with kind of co-signing.
No, I feel that. I get that. That makes sense. But here's the thing though. So it's the same point I made to Elliot earlier, right? When you take that approach, is it fair to say like people are just satisfied that Drake took the fade, right?
Yeah, of course.
People are like, oh, you know what? Drake went outside and caught the fade in the street. Cool, right? But the only time, and this is an interesting, I want you to just really think about what I'm about to say. The only time, well, at least where we from, the only time you get credit for something like that is when people have doubt of your ability in the first place. So if Akademiks is gonna go fight Mike Tyson, if Akademiks is gonna go fight Mike Tyson, right? And Akademiks is seen as the underdog, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That being said, if he's seen as the underdog, people are going to be like, at least he went outside and took the fade. They're not going to look at it like, oh, they're not going to look at that same perspective as Mike Tyson. They're going to be like, Mike Tyson went outside and fought Akademiks. They're not going to look at it like that because they automatically have doubt.
I'm following, and okay, I'm following, and you're making sense. Go ahead.
Okay, so that makes sense. So that being said, when they look at Drake in this whole thing, a lot of people are looking at him like, oh, at least Drake went and caught the fade. The only reason why you might feel that way is because you automatically have doubt in his ability to perform. Does that make sense?
Not necessarily his ability. Well, not at this point in his career, right? Like if Meek had beat him, I would be like, yo, this guy's as he said, yo, you getting bodied by a singing nigga. Like, I would have said, yo, the half rapper, half singer just at least pulled up for the fade. I think at this point, we kind of look at Drake after a few battles and like it's no way you could be like, oh, we're just glad you took the fade. You know, like Drake has kind of proved himself over years. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like it Common. I mean, him and Joe had a little small skirmish, even though some people said, he could have continued with Joe, he didn't. Pusha T, of course, Meek Mill. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is why, people can call me biased all they want, but this is why I kind of ride with my favorite rapper. And it's not like, when people like, it's like basketball. Like, if you like LeBron and you feel he's fearless, like you like what he represents. That's how I kind of look at Drake. He's never ducked a fade. So if maybe it was early on in his career, but like, damn, at least he fought. Like now, actually, of course, Kendrick, who we look at as being so, capable and competent. Yeah, of course, him just sparring with Kendrick is like, yo, I told you my guys like that. But if he had ducked Kendrick and I saw him squabble with everybody else, I would have definitely held it against him, right? I think Kendrick is just off a level that as long as, and this has been my demeanor, I could be honest about it. I just don't want my guy to get embarrassed. If this ends with a bunch of 10-9, no, I'm serious. If it ends with a bunch of 10-9 rounds, and you don't want those joints where you could argue it to eternity on who really won, I'm cool with that. Because I don't know if either or will deliver the knockout punch, but if my favorite rapper gets demolished, it would make me feel and look away when I'm looking at him as a rapper. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand your perspective, but I'm just saying I don't want that to be misconstrued in the conversation, because that's how people are looking at your boy. And the thing is, no one expected. Well, that's not true. You expected him to come out victorious. Is that a fair assumption?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you think he was victorious?
I don't think the battle is done. I can tell you where I feel like it's at currently, but I absolutely do not think this is over with. And last night I've said this publicly. I ain't sleep too well because I was one. No, it's me also being honest. I didn't know if Drake was gonna probably look at 3 tracks in a row by Dot and say, "Yo, he's doubling down on a point that I really don't even want to be fucking with. I have nothing to lose or nothing to gain, everything to lose. Let me just, I've kind of got my shit off. Let the people decide, but I'm out of here." When I seen him respond today, I know he's still in it to squabble. And that makes me excited because I'm going to be honest with you. I thought after those 3 Kendrick tracks, he was going to be like, I'm good. But nah, he's still in this, which you know what this means? Bro, this shit is nowhere near over, at least on his part, because, it's either one of these guys got to bow out or we got to get a knockout punch. Do you think this is over?
Yes.
I heard you say that on the Instagram live. Why?
Like I said on my live, I have it on a good authority that it's a wrap, and he lost, and he's cooked.
Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean he's not going to respond?
That means that exactly what I said. Quote it verbatim. He's cooked. He lost. That's what that means.
So you're thinking he can't drop a record that could change that opinion?
Now, if he continues to antagonize, then that's different. But if that was what was it, the Hard Part 6? If the Hard Part 6 is his response, yes, it's over.
Why? So
do you like that?
I thought it was a formidable response. Again, what are we putting that against? To me, I think "Meet the Grahams" is a null and void song. That song is littered half with lies that was set up by Drake. He literally exposed it in the Hard Part 6. Yo, you bit the bait. I planted the bait. You bit the bait. That song it's a fictional story. Like, I remember listening to that song for the first time. I'm like, damn, it's almost like it's like this eerie bedtime story that Kendrick is kind of delivering. Yo, you got a daughter. Yo, this is going on. Now we get to find out Drake basically set all this shit up. I'm sorry. I thought that was a great chess move. Even though, by the way, I think Kendrick's making amazing chess moves as well. But how are we just saying it's over? Not like us. That is to me that's a hit record. I think definitely a hit record for the West. I think it will go beyond the West. The Hard Part 6, I think a lot of people, include me, when it comes to like what we wanted to hear from Drake. Hey, you popped out with push-ups, which means you're probably looking to try to create bops already. We want to hear you rap. Tailor-made freestyle, you were rapping, but you used AI with Snoop Dogg's voice and Pac's voice. We want to hear you rap, right? And that's why some people were saying, include me, timestamp record. I think a timestamp record is still coming, but just like how Kendrick did 616 in LA, the Hard Part 6 is a counter. Why not?
I mean, here's the thing, bro. Up until today, okay? Up until the Hard Part 6 dropped, where did you have this battle?
Advantage Kendrick.
Where do you have the battle now?
I still may have advantage Kendrick still.
Okay. So, I mean, what is there to do after that? I don't know. Like, I'm not even being funny. I swear to you, I'm not trying to disrespect you.
Yeah.
But have you ever been have you been in a physical fight before?
Yeah.
Okay. When you lose a fight or you're losing a fight, like, what is there after that other than violence? Like, what do you do after that? You keep fighting? Do you fight until the next morning? Do you what's the play?
Wait, but until about 4 days ago, Drake was winning the fight.
No, I understand that. But I'm talking about if me and you are having a physical fight.
Yes.
Right? You're down on the ground and I'm beating the shit out of you.
Yes.
And I clearly have the advantage, right?
Okay.
And I stop beating your ass.
Okay.
Do we continue?
Okay, no. At that point, the fight is over. So it sounds like you're telling me that Kendrick is bowing out. Yeah, if Kendrick stops right now and we have to call it, yeah, I'll call it for Kendrick. But I don't think Drake is done. Kendrick just dropped 3 in a row. Kendrick just dropped 3 in a row and also try to step on his release. I don't think the Hard Part 6, I think the Hard Part 6 was to nullify an angle that Kendrick was taking. You keep calling me a pedophile. You keep saying I'm into minors. I like these weird things that is just, as a man, that's just not even something you want to even be able to, you don't even want to, nobody wants on your jacket, but you don't even want to have to dignify that with a response. Let's get that out the way, but we still squabbling. I think Drake drops again.
If you think that's how it works, then, I guess that's how it works where you from.
Okay, what was the knockout punch for you for Kendrick then? You tell me. Which one? Which one?
What did you just say about Not Like Us? What are the 2 points you just made about it?
I said Not Like Us is a record that is an activation of this back and forth that it brings it into, it's one thing you're just streaming the shit. It's another thing when you see parties and clubs going up over it. You see neighborhoods getting active to it. That's a hit, right? Now, I think it's definitely a hit on the West Coast. We'll see if it actually goes all across, the U.S., right? If they start bumping that shit in Atlanta, we'll see. What I'm trying to say is,
I think it's going to chart.
Of course it's going to chart. All these songs are going to chart, like if they put it on DSPs. But here's the thing. The first song that was like that was, okay, we get like that, but then Push-Ups was of that ilk. I'm not saying Push-Ups is not like us, but it was of that ilk. So you trying to tell me that if Drake right now on Monday morning, which Monday is like tomorrow, or let's say Tuesday or Wednesday, or maybe even Friday, Drake drops a whole banger. You trying to tell me, and he's dissing Kendrick, and that's a club banger too. You're trying to say that the fight was over? Because what I'm saying is that Drake showed me with the Hard Part 6, he's not done with this issue yet.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, but I heard what he said on Family Matters. He said he was about to go on vacation, and then this must have been the quickest vacation. He dropped a day later.
So is he indecisive, or like, I don't understand?
That nigga's chatting. Hey, listen, until he doesn't drop, when he doesn't drop, and hey, you know me, I'm big with the countdowns. Hey, it's been 3 weeks, it's been a month, this nigga ain't dropped, he's bowing out. But
when do you stop the countdown?
Say again?
When do you stop the countdown?
When it's clear that this person, it's like a standing 8 counter. We're doing, you got knocked down. Are you gonna get up, or are you and not only get up? Are you getting up to fight? Again, if he responded to Not Like Us in less than 24 hours, what makes you think that he's done?
I mean, listen, as far as I know, it's over. And if he continues
I feel like you're waving a white flag for Kendrick because
I'm not.
there's
I'm definitely
nothing.
not doing that.
Hold on.
I listened to the hard part, Six, and that's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like he said, "Man, I'm just, you know." It didn't. To me, it felt very, very like Dreamville Fest, like, you know.
What? No, stop it. Nah, stop it. Hey, hey, I'm glad you said going into this conversation you're openly biased, so I can't even say you're wild.
Well, no. My bias is. I'm able to have objective conversation.
Are you kidding me? You think that this song was like the Dreamville apology?
Well, no. The song is twofold, right? The first part of the song is him. First of all, I think that you lose anytime you go on defense in the way that he's gone on defense.
Okay, that's a critique I have for Drake. I don't think he should have addressed it, but I do think. Go ahead.
So when you go on defense in that way, to me, you're no longer the aggressor. And I said, I don't know if people were posting the tweet that I said when it first started. His best course of action is to go on full aggression. Full aggression. That's his best course of action. That's gonna fare best for him in this situation. He didn't do that. He placated the whole thing, was lackadaisical about everything. Thought it was jokes, memes, and you can't. That's not what this is. Okay, on no level is he gonna out hip hop that. On any level, it's never gonna happen. Okay, now
I personally think he could out rap him, out hip hop.